Okay. Mark test 1 2 1 2. Mark test 1 2 1 2. This is the Other Room podcast live and direct from BKK Thailand. We're your host. I'm Joel, aka Authority,
My name is Anthony at Groovin Tony.
on Twitter. So what do we have today? What?
I'll let you run it through Stranger Times.
Okay, so today, this is our
Episode 18,
18th.
Stranger
Yeah,
Times.
dude, I'm actually I'm losing track. Can't really connect anymore. So episode 18th episode.
Yep.
As you can see, we have a very nice background right here.
I love it.
I love this background, and it's one up. In case you want to know, it's a company belongs to a friend of mine. It's a gaming company. So check this out. One up, BKK. So let's get started, man. Let's get
Yeah,
started.
for sure.
Before we even start, let me just clear something. Let me make people understand the purpose of this podcast.
Yep.
We're building this. It's not just only podcast. We're actually building a media platform,
Yeah.
not only podcast. So there are more things to come. And if you think what we're discussing on this podcast is kind of too sensitive for you, please stop listening.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we've been hearing a lot of things going on. People say we talk so much about racism. We talk so much about Nigerian politics. Actually, I don't want us to talk so much about politics. I'm not a
Yeah.
political person.
Yeah.
And I think
don't like it.
the more we don't want to talk about politics, the more something happens about
Yeah,
politics.
really weird
It's
stuff.
becoming like politics is becoming our nemesis. You know, it's like you want to run away from it, but you just have to
keep
talk
popping
about
up,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
you have to talk about it. And as you all know, Nigeria as a country is currently, I don't know, I can't say mixed up, but it's completely fucked up, man. I don't know. So we have a bunch of things we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
I really want to address what happened this week about our first episode, but I think we should just keep that out of the way because we recorded a first episode. We talked about racism, about our experience in Thailand, actually, but from what we're hearing right now from the people, from the how would I
Rumor
say,
mills.
the street police, well, what we're hearing from them is Nigeria embassy in Thailand doesn't like what we talked about the embassy. I was like, if they don't like it, they could easily come over to us. Then we talk about it, right?
So I don't really think like we're guys that people don't know. Like they know us on the street, and if
Exactly.
they don't like what we said, like let their people reach out to our
So-
people. It's that simple. Like have your people call my people.
Yeah, we can settle this. We can bring everything, bring our equipment to the embassy, and we talk about it.
Yeah.
We
If
can
you feel
actually
like
come to
the things we've said are incorrect, then just put it straight. So if you really want a platform to correct the things we're saying, we'll give you that platform. It's
We
that
come
simple.
straight to the embassy, we set up, and we talked about it. Correct us on camera.
I don't even believe like the embassy have a dismay about the things we said because
I don't even believe they list
the
they
things,
even list or
the
what
things we said are factual experiences
exactly
of what
individual of what we
Nigerians
experienced
go through
here.
So,
Yeah.
so they might actually feel like they're doing things that actually serve the interest of Nigerians,
Eh,
but
no.
we don't believe that, and a lot of
No.
Nigerians on the street don't have that belief. So, if they actually want to correct us, we'll give them the platform. It's
Yeah.
that simple. I'm not losing sleep over that.
I'm not even thinking about that.
So-
But the thing is, don't think we're going to shut down that episode or we're taking down that episode because
It's not happening.
It's not happening. It's not going to happen. It's not happening. And with that being said,
Yeah.
how was your weekend?
Man, what did I do? Okay. Yeah, I had a date.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, I can't even talk anything about this on the platform anymore. I
Why?
can't say
You
anything
getting
about this.
stalked or what?
Dude, right now, a lot going on in my life. It's like this month is my final semester month. It's a lot of projects, assignments, a lot of presentations. And I don't
Yeah.
want no baby mama drama. I don't have a baby though, but I just want no drama. It has been so much drama since last week, and I'm trying to cut it off, man. I'm trying to cut it off. Tell me about yours.
Not much. Just went on a date. Yeah, we met you, right? We met you.
Okay.
Yeah. What happened? Yeah, that was just it. Then What did I do on Saturday? Shit. What did I do? What did I do? Nothing. Yeah, I was out for birthday dinner with my guy, Deep Taram.
Oh,
So we just went
another
out.
dinner.
Yeah, for my own birthday. The
Oh,
first was his.
yeah.
So it was just him and I alone. We
I
just
totally
went for
forgot
food.
last week was a birthday.
Everyone forgot. Everyone
No, but I wish you
forgot,
happy
'cause
birthday. But I was waiting for a plan. I was like, oh, this year.
I think
Yeah.
a lot
It's
of
not a
people
biggie.
didn't know because not many people have been using Facebook often. So it was like I think on Sunday that people started to hit me up like, oh, this
shit.
person said this, and a lot of people knew through Agbaje Nani because my birthday is 21st, his is 22nd. So he just keeps saying like, oh,
The same birthday.
mine is like a
Yeah.
day before his. So
oh.
people started to know from that and they started to hit me
Before
up.
that, someone hit me up on Instagram and asking, "Are you with your brother? Are you guys
Oh yeah.
Are you
I
guys
think-
in J Terminal?" I was like, "Yo, I stopped
I
going.
think I know.
I've been there twice, and dude, I'm never gonna go back there anymore."
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's like
I got-
cancelled. It's like out of my horizon. So I was like, "Yeah." Then I went to Sway. A friend just hit me up. Yeah, come to Sway.
Yeah.
So I went to Sway. She was like, "Oh, you with your brother?" I said, "No." Oh, you think he's in J Terminal? I really don't,
I don't know.
There's no plan for this birthday. So-
yeah. I know. She kind of hit me up, and I was like, I just didn't respond. Then I fell asleep because I was not feeling too good. And dude, Taram actually wanted to go out and do stuff, but I was not feeling too good. Yeah, because the whole of last week I wasn't.
Yeah, I know.
really
I know
okay,
it
which
wasn't
is why
easy.
we didn't actually record an episode last week. So I'm sorry for that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, nothing
We should
much.
apologize for missing one episode out.
You can't really take care. You can't control what happens
Exactly,
with your health,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
So
that
it
was
was
what
health
happened.
issue, so we have to really skip the episode.
Yeah.
My last week, I think I went to Sway almost 3 times. The first
already
one,
a lot.
yeah, but the first one was just a meeting.
Yeah.
The second one was outing, but not so much drink, just a little bit. The third one, that was on Saturday. Yeah,
Yeah. You
It
went
was-
out on
yeah.
Saturday. I saw it. I saw photos. I got receipts.
yeah. It was a Saturday, but I wasn't drinking anything. I was drinking water actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was actually drinking water because a friend of mine was like, "Oh, come to Sway, we are Sway, come." I was like, "Okay, I'll just." So that was
And Friday would have been a good day, but the cops
but
came
the cops
out
came
early
so
and
early, yeah,
shut
and
the
they
place
closed
down.
1 o'clock.
So it kind
Yeah.
of killed the vibes
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
My weekend was like,
It's normal.
dude,
stuff.
right now, I think my life is so boring.
Yeah, one thing that actually lit up my weekend was J. Cole's album that dropped.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, we'll talk about
we
that
will
later.
talk about
but
that. We hear that.
Yeah, that's
But
one of the main things.
right
of the
now, my
weekend.
life is kind of boring, man. Just study, spent so much time on Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
Spent so much time on Reddit.
I was there this
I was
evening
like
checking
so
out
much,
stuff.
like a lot. And there's this another group chat I am on some application. You have to like actually very good. You can test, you can speak. It's more like for podcaster anyway. So
Oh, okay.
so yeah, you can just hear an idea. Just compare equipment. Which one is good? If you have problem with editing, they're always there to help you out and just give you new opinions.
Sure.
Quite good. So we invested so much time on this. In case you don't know, so it's not some people
Yeah.
who thinks it's quite easy and they want to set up podcast, so they choose to
And I was
use.
staring at a live video, Instagram live video. Fuck that shit. Like, man.
Oh man, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. So what do we have next? Oh, damn it. The Dino Malaye's drama.
Man.
Are you following up?
Yeah. I'm actually following up, and I think there has been like an arrest warrant that's been issued for him for like a couple of weeks already
By who?
by the police.
By the police.
Yeah, that he was sponsoring some thugs to attack people and whatnot. So, but the thing is that they didn't actually do anything about it, and Nigerians were like,
Yeah, he was actually not around. He traveled.
he didn't travel. He was all around town.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he wanted to travel. That was where they didn't let him out.
Oh, he was traveling.
He was.
I thought
about
he
to
was
travel.
coming back.
No. He wanted
okay.
to travel, so they didn't stamp him out. So,
Oh.
so we went back home. Then they withdrew his police protection and whatnot.
Oh,
So he got arrested, and then he started drama on the street. And
He jumped out of the van.
yeah,
Holy
and why
shit.
I think like it's actually important for us to talk about this is because for weeks and for months we've been talking about NSAS, and we've been talking about how there's been a lot of human rights violations and abusive behaviors from SARS, and now this is now being done by the police towards
A
a
senator.
senator of the Federal Republic,
A
right?
senator.
A distinguished senator. So now he wants sympathy. And the question is now is that when the people in the street were clamoring for police
Oh, yeah.
reforms, and
What
they
were you
expected
doing?
you to actually raise that on the Senate floor, what were you doing? You were busy having fun, shooting music videos, and
Making reminiscences.
yeah, and being baby boy and going to clubs and opening bottles and whatnot, like living the baby boy life, you know.
Yeah.
And now you are on the other side of it. That's why I always make that quote. I always use that quote that when they came for us,
Yeah.
you said you were not part of us. Now they come for you. So who's actually going to stand up for
And
you?
that actually applied to a lot of things in Thailand too.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I told you about the DJ that was booted out of. Yeah. So when it was like
yeah, it's
going
the same thing. It's,
Yeah.
that's why like one of the basic of when it comes to human rights movement, right, in the 80s, one of the reasons why Martin Luther King was being successful is the fact that a lot of other groups, marginalized groups, actually joined the civil rights movement, such as the lesbian and gay rights people. They also joined in that movement to clamor for more equality and a more egalitarian society. That was why it was actually functional, and Martin Luther King became a hero. But nowadays, you have people like, even people who are oppressed, they just feel like, okay, once it doesn't directly concern me,
yeah.
I don't
So
need
I
to
don't
have
have to
my
talk
voice
about it,
to
yeah.
it. And that's what's happening now because everybody's like, okay, we've been abused by the police for long, and you have not said a thing, and now you are the victim, and you're crying out for help. So who's going to help you?
I think the whole thing is a lot of dramas, Like first of all, we just received another rating that rated Nigeria as the less um, um, country with human rights, wherever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and again, this is happening to a whole senator. So, if you want to think about it, if this could be happening to a senator, what happens to the democracy we're preaching?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
again, if they can go so hard on a senator, who are we as a common citizen?
Like, you're nobody.
We
I'm
are
nobody.
nobody. Yeah. So it's kind of, I don't know, man. I really don't. I tried to follow up the whole thing. I heard I heard another meeting was cancelled today by Saraki because of him.
Yeah,
Because
because
he was like
yeah, he's
admitted in the
loyal.
hospital. Yeah.
He's loyal to Saraki. So yeah, I think that was actually the genesis of the whole problem because when the whole power tussle started and it was split, then he went with Saraki, and he's very flamboyant and he lives a much more paparazzi kind of life. So compared to the other guys who supported Saraki, and this is actually a trend because the kind of allegations that have been laid against him was also laid against Sheikh Husani, another senator from Kaduna.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
the one
more
that
like,
El Rufai just sold,
Yes, yeah.
and he counter-sold it again.
Yeah. So it's more like even within the ruling party,
There's drama.
there's drama. There's different factions, and then they're actually attacking each other with using the forces of the security forces. So you're using the state powers against members of the cabinet itself.
Man,
So
Nigeria as a country, I don't know exactly what is happening, man. I don't know, and the president is out there saying the citizens are lazy.
we're
Dude,
going to talk about that. We're
Huh?
going to talk about that.
Dude,
So that's essentially one of the things we've been talking about here. Like, the moment you start to actually keep quiet about human rights violations because it doesn't concern you or it doesn't come close to you, then when it actually comes to you, everyone else is going to keep quiet.
nobody's gonna say shit.
Nobody's going to say anything.
Nobody's gonna say anything.
And when nobody stands for you, it's not even a slippery slope. It's just going to go across board to everybody. 1% of it no yale.
Wow, but what they are?
Yeah, so it's as simple as that. And now, if you look at that, we've been talking about killings in Benue and all these other places by the herdsmen, right? And the police are not doing anything about it, but they have enough manpower to actually go after Dino Melaye.
Yeah, I think the whole thing, the handsman, the whole thing, I think is more political than it is.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I don't know, like there's a lot of things happening in the north, and sometimes I think the best thing for Nigeria to do right now is to just fucking divide. Like let's
Yeah.
just let everybody go.
There's a need to split it.
Now we need to split the
up.
country.
Like,
It's getting way too much. We don't have. Okay, if I remember when I don't know in Bayelsa was the village that Obasanjo OD.
Yeah.
You see what happened to OD, right? And
and
then
the same thing was also in
happened to the
Benue, Zaki Biam.
Yeah.
In Igbo. In Benue. And then for Igbo, recently, during the Biafra struggle,
Yes, exactly.
Operation Python Dance.
Yes. What are you guys still waiting for? We have a region where there's a lot of things going on. We have Hensmen, we have Boko Haram, and we have another group forming. People will just randomly kidnap and kill people without any consequences. Nothing is happening to them.
In all honesty, I was one of the people who supported Muhammadu Buhari to become the president. Like, though I had no vote because I was not at home to vote, but I felt like we needed to have a change of government.
Yes.
At that point.
Yeah. At that moment.
At that moment, we needed a change of government. But the only alternative that was viable that we had was Muhammadu Buhari because of the way he was sold to the public as this,
as the Messiah.
The Messiah, and like the second coming of Christ. So, and we all bought into the idea, and he won as the opposition candidate. But if you look deeply into his government, you see it's been a government of cronyism, nepotism, and
there's a lot of
corruption and just misadministration and incompetence. Because now you see, like, I think it's actually come to the point where the people of the Southeast have a good argument when they say, like, they are being marginalized.
Yeah, that's
and
fact.
They are really being treated unfairly. I feel like it's true because now there is a lawful secessionist movement out there that have been preaching for years that they want to leave the country. And we felt like, okay, we need to actually keep them in this forced marriage, in this abusive marriage called Nigeria as a federal unit. And now, in the other side, we have the places whereby there is just killing of people and destruction of property and other stuff going on while the military is not doing anything about it. Then it comes down to what T.Y. Danjuma said like a couple of weeks ago about the Nigerian military being complicit in the whole of this whole thing.
They are. Yeah, they are.
That's what I keep saying on this podcast.
That's fact.
That
the ministry have been complicit. Yeah.
War is a multi-billion-dollar industry
investment
in Nigeria because they keep buying new equipment every year. So the military generals are just making lots of money from it, and at the end of the day, it's just all about capitalism. It's all about capitalism because now they want to buy a new set of equipment, and I heard that they bought new set of aircraft for like maybe $443 million.
Holy shit.
So, and when you ask, like, okay, what are you doing with this aircraft?
Exactly.
Nothing.
Are they really using the aircraft?
No. And I think it's come to the point where we don't even call them Fulani headsmen anymore. We have to call them what they are.
They're terrorists. They are terrorists.
It's as simple as that. They fit into the definition of terrorists. There's no need to label them according to their tribe that, they're... When we're talking about guys from the South, we call them militants.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's what they were. They had their own agitation over.
And they have their own argument too. If you look the guy from the South Side, they have a valid argument to even do what they're doing.
Exactly. And their own form of destruction wasn't even as these like destruction
they don't
of
kill
lives
people.
and properties.
They don't kill people.
No, it just wasn't. They had their own way of campaigning for what they wanted.
Yeah, that's fact. So it has been a lot of drama happening in the Senate room, and someone just burst into the Senate room. I'm like,
man,
dude, how do you say that? No, what do you think should happen to him?
You know, like, it's not even about what should happen to him. Like, there's been a lot of memes out there.
Yeah.
Of the guy, like, the last Mace runner.
The last Mace, yeah.
And so many funny memes out there and funny stuff that people
how could he even manage to go inside with his dogs and they could be able to take the meals out?
I'm not really even interested in that. I'm just more like, it's a theater of drama out there. Like, every now and then they're actually throwing punches.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and this is not the first time that the Mace is being taken from that Senate house.
Really?
Yeah, it was taken during the time of Chuba Okadigbo, and they took it to the southeast, all the way to the southeast. So
Oh
it's not like
man.
something new. And okay, it might have happened in Abuja, but it happens almost every year at the local House of
House of
Assemblies.
Assembly.
It
Oh, okay.
happens in Ekiti. It happens in Lagos. It happens in Ondo. It happens in the southeast and everywhere else. Even in Edo, where they're actually throwing punches and whatnot. And to go piggyback to your question, which is about how did he actually get in there with the thugs? Now that's the bigger problem. Like, how was he actually able to get into to the floor of the Senate with thugs that stole the mace and started to run away? And at the end of the day, it's even more about, like, it's the same thing that we're talking about, that there's this whole opposition even within the ruling party,
Yeah.
whereby there's different
Trust me,
groups
there's
and
like
there's power tussle.
yeah, the ruling party is completely ruined.
Yeah,
There's no political party in that. Trust me, like if during the election, there's gonna be a lot of deflection. People
even
going,
before
yeah.
that.
People is
The
living.
thing is, I'm not even surprised because that party already is an amalgamation of like cross carpeters. People are actually moving from one party to the
So,
other. So it's not like it's not a conglomerate of people who have integrity. They don't. They don't have, like, if you look at Amechi and this other guy. Okay, now most recent is Obanikoro.
oh yeah,
Obanikoro
yeah.
is a staunch PDP guy that went to Ekiti and rigged an election using the military, and he did so many stuff during the last election, right? And he had a corruption case open against him.
Yeah,
Then he switched to APC, and everything disappeared.
yes, yes.
And now he's running for a senatorial seat in Lagos State. The same guy that was caught on tape rigging an election.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons. I was talking to a guy. I was like, oh, he called me. I was started talking about Nigeria politics. I was like, okay, APC released the list of looters,
Right?
but how come Obalokoro's name is
It's
not
not
there?
there. And how come the other guys who have had pending cases with the EFCC, who were former PDP guys that moved to APC, why were they being omitted?
This is
So
crazy, man.
it's actually more of, if you look at it, that it's more like the opposition is being targeted. So whatever it is that is the power tussle and the drama even within the APC right now, it's not something that should come to observers as a shock. Because when you have different people with different ideologies and different interests come together, they only had one goal, which was to unseat Jonathan.
Yes.
So
And they have
see-
achieved.
and
They
they've
achieved
that.
the
So
goal. So
what
I don't give a
happens
shit
next
about anything.
is just a destruction of the
Yeah.
house. And that's one of the reasons why this whole called third force that Obasanjo is talking about, that needs to wrestle power away from PDP and APC in the next election. That's why it will also not work. It will also go the same way.
The same way, yeah.
Because, okay, you had guys like, under the PDP regime, we had Olagunsoye Oyinlola, from a former Osun State governor that lost the election to Rauf Aregbesola. Then I think he decamped to APC. Then now, he's with Obasanjo's group all of a sudden.
So Obasanjo has a
You
new
know, he
group,
wrote
right?
a letter like,
Oh yeah,
couple of
yeah.
months
I know
ago.
about the
And
letter he
since-
wrote
yeah,
to.
since
Yeah.
he wrote that letter, like, they've been trying to form some
Another
certain-
political party.
they call it third force, which is maybe a combination of parties, coalitions, and whatnot, to like serve as a viable opposition, because PDP is not an opposition.
Yeah.
They're basically not doing anything. They don't even care.
Did they
So-
even have a presidential candidate yet?
Nothing.
And the election is
The
next
only-
year.
the
There's
only
no
person
campaign and
that
nothing.
has been floated around is maybe
Atiku.
Atiku, and he hasn't actually announced officially that he wants to run. And we have Donald Duke, who have officially announced.
right. Okay.
But then I think his campaign just had a huge hit over the week. I don't really know what happened, but a lot of people are criticizing him. He had a conversation with Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, a private conversation that got leaked somehow.
Oh
now.
shit.
So now people are actually attacking him based on that. So
Yeah,
a lot of those who supported him.
Yeah,
are
I read the
backing off.
news. I read the news that said like, Duke said like, Ngozi left Nigerian poorer than the way she made.
Yeah, that was his response back to Ngozi.
Oh,
Yeah, Ngozi said something. I have not really get a hold of that. And in his response back to Ngozi, he made a couple of statements that, okay, there was a conversation between him and Ngozi because they are friends. And it was a private conversation which he did not expect would be in the public domain. And in his rebuttal and response to it, then he said stuff that, okay, he felt like there was no point for you to work for the government, the Jonathan government, when she did, because you will lose your credibility.
oh,
And at the end of the day, he's trying to say, okay, what I told her in the private conversation was that you will lose your credibility. And she lost her credibility, if you look at it, because she was part of the government that stole billions from the country.
Yeah.
And also, they left the country poorer than they met it.
Yeah.
So that is validated, but there are parts of the conversation that I think he deflected from, which are part of the things that Ngozi said. So a lot of people who were able to like get both sides of the story talked about losing trust in Donald Duke because they saw him as a young, vibrant, and someone who should be the next president.
How old is he?
I think it's maybe 56 or 50, whatever. Yeah. You know, he has this really good public image back home. So he does have that. And a couple of times his name has been floated around as a presidential candidate in the past. But then I think this time around he has gathered more momentum than in the past.
Yeah, I think right now everybody, I don't know, there are a lot of people still supporting and rooting for Buhari, which I know is more of like they're all about what they want to eat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of youth, even with the comment he made, a lot of people still going around comparing that Awolowo made the same comment when he was wherever. No, you know, Nigerians know. So I just think people just after what they want to eat or what they think it will favor them at that moment. I think every reasonable Nigerians always want Buhari out of that presidency, man. Like his time is gone.
The thing is, how do you actually define reasonable? Because because that's it. You know, people you expect to actually know better. That you expect that, okay, they understand what it is for good governance. They are still part of the people who are actually supporting him.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it's all about what they want.
And the argument becomes really difficult because they want to make us believe that, oh, we are better off than doing Jonathan.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
I don't think we are because it's still the same absurdity that's going on. And I don't think the things that Buhari has said and he has done and how he has been quiet about different killings in the country, I don't think Jonathan would have been that quiet. I don't think Jonathan would have made the same comments. And videos were being floated around about. Oh, yeah,
comparing both.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I saw the video.
And somehow, you know, you could make a brief for the statement that Buhari said. Because if you look at a lot of the aides, the media aides and a lot of the political aides around government, they are fairly young guys within 35, 40, 45. And he sees them as being jobless. They're just there around just to run around and do basic tasks. And they get paid. Those are the people he sees as the youths. Oh. That's why he thinks the youths are lazy. If he goes down to the north where he comes from, they are they are very uneducated.
Yes.
There's a lot of poverty. There are a lot of lazy people out there. They are marginaries.
Yeah.
So that's his reality. That's what he sees.
Yeah.
When he talks about Nigerian youths being lazy.
You have a point there. Yeah.
He hasn't really been to the South. And if you actually look at during the election, he didn't campaign in some certain states in the South. Even the whole of the Southeast, I don't even think he campaigned in more than one state. Even the whole of the Southeast, Southwest, and South, he didn't go to more than maybe 6, 7, 8 states. And that's why a lot of people said he's very tribalistic.
He is. He is very tribalistic.
That's his reality. That's the picture that he's saying. Those who are around his government, who are youths, who are people like Banks Omishore, Saraki's aide, who got caught up in some fraud and shit recently, So the kind of people he sees around him are what defines his reality. And these are people who are just there, Jackie J. They don't have anything to contribute.
Yeah.
They just want to be yes sir, or gasa. So maybe those are the kind of people he sees that makes him feel like, oh, then he then generalizes the whole youth. And it's actually worthy of note to point out that his generation were those who benefited from the country in terms of education, social welfare, and other
Oh, yeah. A lot of
Compared to
scholarship.
now, yeah.
and
He's
things
talking
like
about, the people want to live on welfare and whatnot.
How
The
much?
Nigerian government does not even hand out welfare.
welfare, exactly.
There's no welfare package. So what are you talking about? So when he talks about
uneducated, let's think of this. If Nigerian youth are lazy, because I was like on Facebook, I don't know how true that the news was. They said like his media aide, what is this old man's name? This one from the one I don't know. I forgot his name, man.
Is it Lai Mohammed?
Yeah, Lai
Mohammed
Mohammed
is the Minister of Communication.
Oh, yeah, Minister of Communication. Yeah. So he said like Nigerian government are feeding 7.5 million youth.
Hell no.
Now, okay. So if you're feeding 7.5 million youth, right, from a country of 180 million citizens, so calculate the number of youth. Let's say even half of the 180 is youth, right? Which
That's
makes
maybe like 3. That's maybe like 4.2%.
Yes. Now, what the fuck are you talking about?
And that's actually not true anyway.
I know that.
Everybody knows Lai Mohammed to be a liar. He just throws around words and figures
if
around.
If you're feeding 7.5 million people, how does that really count?
I remember,
and I'm so sure that those 7.5 million are from the north.
It's not even true because if
that were to be true
during their campaign, they promised that kids in high school or kids in primary school are going to be fed free. Like they're going to have free lunch.
Free lunch. Oh,
that
okay.
has not been implemented. That's a lie. They said they were going to give the youth 5,000 naira.
No, they're not going to give youth
5,000. The End Power program that they met on grant, they have completely ruined it. So they basically haven't even done anything for the youth or even for the elderly. And nobody takes Lai Mohammed serious. A lie is a liar. Everybody knows that. So who actually takes him serious? And at that point, even the little bit of goodwill that maybe Buhari enjoys, him going to London to make that statement already ruins.
Yeah, that is so. They
just couldn't
crazy,
find, and the problem was that his PR team couldn't find a way to wing it. They just had no way to actually wrestle.
Exactly? How are you gonna convince? Like the Nigerians started making a shirt right now. Lazy youth.
Yeah, lazy youth.
Yeah, they started selling a shirt called Lazy Youth.
Because it has to be a reminder. It has to be there right in your face.
I'm saying that this is your chance. Like this is the opportunity. This is the punchline. This is all you need to vote him out.
Yes.
This is just exactly what you need. Just to vote him out. I don't care who is coming next. But Buhari has to go.
He just have to go. The man is already senile. Like he's too old. He doesn't really. I think probably he's suffering from selective amnesia at this point because he doesn't remember a lot of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And he's just out of touch. And this is a guy that even people who worked with him said he has not read a book in like a couple of years. So how can you, if you don't even read one book in maybe 5
years. And you're not on the internet doing some research.
Exactly. So that was when the Cambridge Analytica report came out that they were trying to hack the presidential aspirants' email and whatnot, which was Buhari. I felt like, does Buhari even have an email?
Address? Yeah.
Does he even send emails?
What's the point?
So what's
the
there
point?
to actually hack, or what's there to actually dig up? There's basically nothing there, and it's a wake up call for Nigerians and for the youths that at this point you need to take, just like what Shawore is saying. It's time to actually take the government back.
We really have to. And
guys, their generations have failed us, and we don't need to let our own generation fail us or our children. So it's that point where
you know what I think what I actually think about Nigerians, like if you see someone who's actually on their side, talking about what they need, what they experience, they always go against such a person. Take for instance on this our podcast, most of the criticism we got is from our fellow brothers, Nigerians, who complains that we talk so much about racism, and that is most of their reality. They face it, but they would rather die in silence.
Yeah.
Than coming out
To talk about
it. Right? So even when they face racism straight to their face, they don't want to talk about it. They just want to live and let it go. There's some certain things you don't let go. You don't just look over like that. And the same thing happens to Nigeria. Nigeria right now, Nigerians youth supposed to be like, yo, this is our time.
Yeah.
Even we have some youth coming up, this is our time. The one that are still getting paid, still getting money from the government, is like, yeah, what are you talking about? They always want to make up stories, come up with an excuse, still find a way to defend the people that is paying them.
They got to
That's
pay
why
bills.
that's why they get easily manipulated.
They got bills to pay.
Is it all about bills?
No, for the youth in government, they don't care if everybody else dies or if everybody else is living in poverty. As long as they have the money to pay their bills by working as servants for these old men, they don't mind. They just want to sit around the corridor of power.
Even the one the one outside, like the one in the street, the one that has still hustling. The thing is, once they have this political godfather that's like, this is what they have to do, they stick to that.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
I say, you know this bros, Sonny T. That is someone I looked up to my entire life growing up, right?
Yeah.
Now he's all over Facebook campaigning and talking about Buhari, and even like, dude, you're a youth, and you heard the comment. What was your own response to that?
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. He's still backing Buhari's up. I was like, yo, this is someone I've been looking up my entire life.
Yeah.
And I don't want to involve in any Facebook argument. I don't do that. I don't want no Facebook drama. So I just read everything. I was like, bros, man, this is someone that...
That's why I actually don't go on that platform, because a lot of people there, I don't know the way they think about things. Like, if you look around you, the level of unemployment is high. Talk about security is very low. Like, there's basically killings everywhere. Not even those who are supposed to protect you are actually stealing and killing.
No, you can't even trust the police anymore.
Look at what happened at Offa recently, whereby about 19 people were killed in a bank robbery. And we were told that, we read in the news that those robbers, when they came into Offa in Kwara State, they lodged at a hotel. The hotel noticed some certain things.
And they never called police?
And
they never report?
They invited the police to check on those guys. And the police came, took 400,000 naira from them, from those guys.
Jesus.
Then they went back. This is what the news said. So they went back to their boss at the station to say, oh, the guys, they called us to go check were Yahoo boys. So they moved on. Then the following day, the whole attack happened. So those guys went on a rampage. They stole money from different banks. And now, here it is, they went back to the police station and killed 9 police officers.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The owner of the hotel proprietor, got arrested and thrown into jail.
Why?
That's what Nigerians don't know. That's it. Okay, someone who was being vigilant to look at people who came to use the hotel because they were strangers and the kind of things that they had with them. He suspected them of something. He invited the police. The police came. They took money.
And they left.
And then the whole thing that happened the following day happened where there were loss of lives and properties. And then they also went back to revenge that 400K that they collected.
Yeah.
They went back to the station and killed 9 police officers. And now, the person who's being charged is the hotel owner who actually gave the police the
information.
You need to check these guys out.
Dude, Nigerian police they need to do better, man. How
you failed
how
at your
on
job.
earth can you even come up? come out openly and say this is what happened.
And now they're saying like, oh, we're starting to catch the guys who did it because the cell phones that they stole during the robbery, they gave them to their girlfriends. So they were able to track some of the locations and they were able to catch the girls, which led them to the guys and whatnot. So at this point, they said they've caught some of the guys, but you just never trust anything.
No, can never trust the police. No, never.
You know, like
that might be
that person comes out and say like, I did this.
Yeah.
And there is video evidence to prove it. Nigerians will believe because they will be coerced into just false statement that they did it, which is what I believe is happening. And now it just shows like a dereliction of duty that these guys who could have been arrested before anything happened, they just took money from them and they still let the thing that shouldn't have happened happen.
And there should be a big reform in Nigerian, not only in politics, there should be a big reform in Nigerian police.
Wasn't it even
Nigerian police need to
we
be
also
reformed.
heard that about 180,000 police officers were ghost workers.
They're just taking salary for someone.
Yeah. It's the same thing I was talking about. Banks Omishori, who works as the SSA to Saraki, senior special assistant or whatever, media aide to Saraki. He was based in Maryland, US, before he moved to come work for Saraki. He's from the famous Omishori family in Ife. So he works for Saraki. His wife is based in the US as a nurse. Meanwhile, Banks Omishori is taking salaries. He's collecting salaries for the wife here at the National Assembly in Abuja. 150K per month.
Per month for the wife
For someone that's in the US working.
making money.
That's just a youth. He's 35 years old. Or even 33. He's 35. Banks Omishori is 35 years old. He's a youth. So those are the kind of people that Buhari sees, that he generalizes. So this guy is just a media aide. He basically has no constitutional power. So imagine the future with that guy if he gets elected to a position.
Oh, he's definitely going to
your
kill
wife
Nigeria.
is in the US working. He's most likely better off than a lot of people.
Yes, making
And
Nas is making so much money in the state.
And you're also collecting 150,000.
That's how much? It's not even $1,000, right?
So then that got exposed recently. That's just the one guy. So now imagine these whole senators and politicians that they say, oh, they have about 40 different aides, like 15 gardeners, 5 cook, 7 security, and all
those
that.
guys are just so evil.
And now that's just those guys. Then even within the police force itself, there are 180,000 ghosts.
180,000? How?
Okay,
how
imagine
many? No, the total number of police, how many? Is 30,000?
I don't know.
It's 300,000. I think it's like 300,000.
So if you have that much high number of people,
180,000 ghost workers.
and the problem is, who is benefiting from these salaries?
Is that the boss? The inspector general.
So that's why they everything is in a chaos. That's why I just really don't want to talk about certain things, because
Nigerian politics is
that's
a
why
mess.
I always say we have
I
very
cannot
weak
really handle.
institutions. Like
It's even below weak.
The Police Service Commission is the one in charge of the police force, right? So that's the commission that should actually be looking into all of this, the police brutality case, these ghost workers and everything. But they're not doing anything, and this is headed by someone who is fantastic. How did David Cameron say it? Fantastically corrupt. Michael Kiro, former Inspector General of Michael Kiro, is the head of Police Service Commission, and that's why I say we have weak institutions. That's the institution that was supposed to actually oversee the police force. But nothing is being done. And Michael Kiro, who's a former PDP guy, he's now in APC.
APC.
So you can just
political
imagine.
prostitute.
So it just comes
Anyway,
across
yeah,
a lot
man,
of
I
things.
think it's time to get out of this Nigerian
It's
political
depressing,
zone.
man.
It's
It's
like so
depressing.
depressed. I don't even know what to say, man. I don't know how to start. I'm not a political guy. I hate politics. I don't want to go into politics. As soon as I see my friend go into politics, I try to disconnect myself from them because I don't want
That
to be
moment you
used.
don't trust them.
Yeah, I don't
anymore.
trust them anymore. So talking about politics every week is really ruining my phone on this podcast. So let's move forward. Since we're moving, so what else? It's gonna be fun. NBA roundup.
Yeah.
NBA. Let's go to NBA, and I know a lot of Nigerians watch NBA.
Yep.
Because I've seen a couple of your friends, their profile. What I say, when you retweet someone or you comment on someone, first of all, I go to their profile. And when I check the profile, it's like football fanatics, NBA, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like,
Love
yo,
NBA,
man, come on.
man.
Come on, man. So, let's get started. NBA.
Yeah, the Sixers, man, they're making a lot of noise.
What am I wearing?
Are you bad man, dog, man?
No, fuck it, man.
Yeah, they're making a lot of
They're making a
noise.
lot of noise, and
It's a good time to be a Philly fan, like Philly fan in general, in the sense if you look at a football team.
football team.
Yeah,
and
they won
their
the
baseball
Super
and
Bowl.
their baseball is doing
Really,
pretty
yeah.
good too.
And also for those who've been waiting for the Sixers to rise, now it's the time. It's
Yeah,
like,
the process has been
what a
finally
time to be alive.
completed. Yeah, so
Not
this
completed, but it's loading really fast.
I think trust me, I don't know who they're going off season, who they're bringing. So the process, the continuation of the process depends on the off season, who they are bringing.
Yeah. And in
So-
all of this, we keep talking about the process, and the media doesn't want to talk about the guy who started the process.
That is Joel B.
No,
Joel B. Who?
Sam Hinkie,
Who's Sam Hinkie?
the general manager who started this whole movement for the process.
No, I think like the word trust the process actually come from
No,
Joel B.
okay, now let me talk about what happened. Here is what happened. Sam Hinkie was the general manager.
Yes, I know.
He drafted Joel Embiid.
I know. Yeah.
He traded peaks, like he traded Drew Holiday, Evan Turner, Andre Iguodala, and these other guys to get peaks.
But those guys are doing pretty good on their various clubs, right? They're killer.
Because there were a lot of things like you couldn't actually win with those guys. You didn't have the cap space and a lot of stuff. So he traded those guys because he needed to start over. Like there are times you trade guys because you want to rebuild. Look at Chicago. Traded Taj Gibson, Joakim Noah,
Yeah,
Derrick Rose,
I know rebuilding
Jimmy
is not-
Butler
is
because
not-
they wanted to rebuild. And now here's the thing. With that, this guy picked with the picks, right?
Yeah, they have like couple of like
They got like
four tens.
They got
first
like-
and second pick.
like picks for like 4 years in
Yes.
a row. Where
The
they
same-
picked
the-
Embiid. They
The
started
same
with
way,
Embiid.
the same way Cleveland got after LeBron just left.
Yeah. So they started with Embiid. They got Nerlens Noel. They got Jaleel Okafor. They got Ben Simmons. They got Markel Fultz, which is as a result of the draft pick that the guy acquired.
But let me tell you something. The main force that is actually behind Caesars is not really the picks. I can say two of the picks.
Then it's
right.
what?
Huh?
It's what?
Who like the veterans, like who they got there, who's shooting the trays.
What I'm actually more concerned about the fact that Sam Hinkie died for the process because he got fired when they were losing. So
So
Here's the-
if you have to base
here's the thing.
if you have to base your argument on that, so Golden State still have to pay this their former coach that actually built the team before.
Mike Jackson.
Yeah, Mike Jackson.
Yeah, because it's understandable that they had to let him go, and which was against the contract. Because
Why?
okay, it was a contract, right? A contract was signed. So since they didn't want to continue with the contract,
Yeah,
they
I
had to
think
pay the contract.
there was
right?
something fishy about that. That's it. You know,
I didn't really look into that
Yeah.
culture out there, but
there is a lot of things.
the thing
went
is,
wrong about it.
nobody wants to talk about Sam Hinkie, but dude died for the process. He died for our sins, so that he can have this process. Yeah, the process started with Embiid, then it actually grew. Then Nerlens Noel fell off the process, then followed by Okafor too.
Yeah.
who fell off the process.
I don't
And
really
now-
think Okafor fell off the process. I just think I don't know. It depends on the coach.
No, in fairness,
It depends on the coach
Have
who you
a
go.
guy. Okafor is not on the same level as Embiid. Take it or
Yeah,
leave it.
that's totally different.
Okay,
Yeah.
We can also make the case that Embiid is not always healthy.
Same way as Okafor too. Not always.
But
Not always.
Okafor has better health than Embiid.
Embiid,
if you
right.
look at it. The thing is that Okafor is the old style NBA big man that plays on the block. Like,
But he still shoot jump shot.
he
In
can
college, you can shoot
but
straight too.
his range is not beyond the line.
Yeah.
So
And
who
his
really-
his foot movement is not as good as MB's footwork.
yeah, definitely. It's
He
not.
has like
And
Akeem
so-
Olajuwon foot type of.
And if you look at it, like the old prototype centers are starting to fade out, or the old prototype big men are starting to fade out. The last of them are maybe Zach Randolph, then Lamarcus Aldridge, and very few guys. And that's what Okafor is. He can't stretch the floor, but Embiid can stretch the floor for you.
Yeah.
So any day, anytime, everybody will take Embiid
Yeah,
over.
I
Okafor.
think NBA is actually changing right now. The big guys, you have to have range.
You have to be able to stretch it.
Yeah, that actually started with what is this guy from Miami Heat that played with LeBron James and the way.
Not Bosch.
Bosch.
Bosch
Yeah.
was not a center. Bosch was a power forward.
Bosch was a center.
He played center there.
Yeah, he
But
was
he's
playing
a-
center and
he's
he was
a-
like
he's a power forward.
He was a center and then he was like he can spread out, shoot trees,
Yeah.
started shooting trees.
Well,
and-
he was not.
Yeah.
He's not a traditional center. He's not a center because that was why you guys had Udonis Aslam. That was why they had.
Aslam is
Yeah.
is
That was why
like
they
from the bench.
That's why
you
they
know.
had guys like Shaq back there.
Yeah, they have this guy too, just something Anthony,
Yeah, Joe Anthony.
Joan Anthony. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just that now that you have sometimes where you switch up the lineup with Kevin Love playing center.
Yeah.
And Kevin Love is not a center. That's why he gets burned up a lot of the time because then he has to consume more energy trying to play center. And also, he just can't play because that's not his natural position, right?
But the thing is, right now, like sometimes LeBron James plays small forward. Sometimes he plays power forward.
Yeah.
He can post up as a center.
Yeah.
Because it depends on the lineup of the other team.
Yeah.
Right. Depends on if they have like small guys, anybody can be a center.
Yeah.
So
that's why Okafor is not really the guy right now because that's why he's not really. Nobody's really interested in him that much as a free agent because he's going to be a free agent this summer. And he fell off the system. And also then when this whole team started, like earlier in the year when they started to call themselves Feds, which is basically the process. They call themselves Feds, which is Michael Fultz, Embiid, Dario Saric, and Simmons. Then where's Okafor in all of this?
Yeah, I know Cabo was going to leave.
At that point, he just felt like, oh, okay, I see you guys leave me out of this even at the beginning of the season. So he already knew that, okay, it's time for me to get out of here. And the big problem for Sixers right now is that they're going to have a big problem paying these guys.
Yes. They need to have mass
Because
day.
now, they've got money to throw around this summer. They gave...
Embiid already signed the contract.
Yeah, good. They gave JJ Redick like 24 million.
24 million.
Yeah. It was a good deal, so he took it for 1 year.
Oh, okay.
So Embiid just signed a new contract that starts next year. But the thing is that the contract has a setting clause that he must be able to play certain number of games.
Yeah.
Which I feel is perfect. Like, you can't just pay him without knowing how it's going to turn out to be in the next couple of years, especially when you look at the contract of Chandler Parsons and Joakim Noah and some other guys who have huge contracts, but they just can't stay healthy. And now, his contract starts from this offseason, right, which is this summer, and they're still going to have money to try a big free agent. And after that, you have to pay Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons is going to take a lot.
So how are you going to be able to pay Embiid? That free agent you signed this offseason for like 2-3, you give probably, let's say, LeBron that you signed for 2-3 years.
No, he's not coming.
And then,
if LeBron comes, that means the ball is going to be out of Ben Simmons' hand a lot.
Yeah. And Simmons can't. That's why I don't see LeBron going to the
yes,
Sixers.
and
because
Simmons can't do anything off the ball.
Both guys can't do off the ball.
Yeah.
LeBron needs the ball.
LeBron James can still shoot a little bit of tray, a little bit of jump shot.
To get everybody involved.
Yes, but Simmons can't.
Simmons, it's not that Simmons needs to get everybody involved. It's just that he can't shoot.
He can shoot.
So his way of getting himself to score is by having the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I think.
I don't see
LeBron going there.
That is one of the reasons too.
Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
And even though any big free agent goes there, and they get paid this off season, how do you pay Simmons? And the thing is, before the Sixers become a threat, it's going to take at least another 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
Because right now, the biggest threat right now is the Boston Celtics. Take it or leave it.
You think Celtic is the...
Yeah, because they got Jaylen Brown, they got Horford, they got Hayward, they got Kyrie, they got Tatum. And
if everybody's healthy, that's what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
And
I don't see it right
they
now.
are not capped out.
But the point is Kyrie Irving still going to sign next year?
Most likely.
Yeah, most likely though. Yeah, most likely he's going to remain. But
nobody
then,
sees him leaving.
Yeah, then they have this. What is this guy that got injured earlier in the beginning of the season?
Hayward.
Hayward is going to be there. Kyrie is going to get mass deal.
Yeah, Horford is going to be there.
Harvard is going to be there.
Tatum is going to be there.
And Brown
is there.
Brown is going to get contract. They already signed the contract, right?
No, Brown is just second-year player.
Second and third year is going to ask for deal.
Yeah, he's not going to get a max deal.
He's not going to get a max deal, but he's not going to get like rookie deal as well.
No. He's not getting a max deal, but mid-range, which
yeah, probably like 15.
And don't forget that the cap space actually rises every year due to the national TV deal. So they will be able to pay their players and keep everybody happy.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. They're not going to pay Marcus Smart a lot of money. They don't even want to pay him. Yeah. They're not going to pay Terry Rozier a lot of money.
How do you know? Terry Rozier is a threat. He is.
Are you going to take Terry Rozier over Kyrie Irving?
But from the bench, we're talking about the bench. You don't just talk about
bench
the start.
Players don't get paid
five.
a lot.
But coming off the bench and do something great is what really, that's what makes a team.
You can do something great, but
now how deep is your team? That's what really matters. And some bench player will get 10.
Yeah, that's still not a lot of money. That's what bench players get normally. So he's
that's
not going to get
a lot
anything.
of money. Do you know they have how many bench? If you have to pay each bench like 10, you know some bench even get 1.
Don't forget that most bench is usually
it's like
five
two
active players.
Yeah.
So that 5 active players, you got guys who's probably one.
But Celtic is pretty deep.
Exactly.
And their bench,
deep and cheap. That was why they were able to acquire Greg Monroe.
I don't think from next year they're going to be cheap anymore.
They're still going to be cheap.
I don't think so.
Because then on the bench you got a good defender, Semi Ojeleye, who's going to be a second-year player next year. Yeah. Then you got Yabusele, who's going to be a second-year player next year. Then you got this other guy, Abdul Nader, who's going to be maybe a third-year player. But then I don't think they really want to resign the guy. Probably belongs to the G League or whatnot. So they will be able to pay their players. But
let's say
Sixers, by the time they need to start being a threat, a real threat, money issues is going to happen.
It's going to be a problem. Yeah, money is going to be
a
problem.
That's why I think the process is not going to be complete.
The process is going to remain a process.
It's just going to remain a process. It's not going to be complete
process.
Because except you pick another guy who's very impactful. So that way you can let maybe Simmons go. And so exactly. So if you let Simmons walk, with that guy before he signed his next contract, will he be able to deliver you to the finals? Yeah. And I don't know why they pick Michael Fultz, because to me, it's just a waste of draft pick. Because here it is.
Dude, like the first, second, and third pick, the third is performing well. The first and second, they are like more of like a waste, though.
Yeah, at least the second is still better than Fultz.
How do you think the second is better?
Because he's been playing. He played at least 60 games.
Plus and minus is what? Efficiency is what? Come on, man.
What does that got to do with a guy who's actually not playing in Fultz?
But
Fultz is actually not playing at all.
No, but now he's playing.
He's not helping you.
But now he's playing. He's helping a little bit.
Maybe 10 minutes a game.
Yeah, it's helping.
For how many games?
What is his name? From this one from Lakers.
Lonzo?
Lonzo can't even shoot shit.
I think Lonzo, there are games Lonzo hit like 5 threes, 4 threes.
How many games? Like 2.
More than 2
I don't
games.
think it's more than 2
games. It happens maybe once in a week or once in 2 weeks.
It happens like once in 2 months.
But you can't take away the fact that he can play as a normal point guard. The thing is,
he's more of traditional point guard.
People are expecting
just
him
distribute
to be
the ball.
The Steph Curry because he's that hyped in. But if you look at Lonzo is more like Rondo.
Yeah.
He sees the floor, he plays the floor, and he plays good defense.
Yeah, he's more of like traditional
Like
point guy. It's more of,
I've seen him almost like every week run down and block shot, just like what LeBron does.
towards the end of the season.
Because
10 games to go, yeah.
It's not
It
even
started like towards the end of the season.
It's not even before the end of the season. Before he started to get injured and whatnot, and then missing games and coming back. And
After he came back from injury, he started like
just like during the exit meeting, right? Magic Johnson told him, "You need to get stronger," which is what I think is the first thing for him.
Yeah, he really need to hit the gym.
Yeah, he needs to get stronger, which is what they're actually trying to emphasize, because it was the same thing. If you look at Brandon Ingram, he was a disappointment his first 2 years in the league. But this season, he's been really good.
Yeah.
Like, I like what the comparisons to Kevin Durant seems legit now. That he can actually
do this.
shoot the ball.
He has the length.
But
he can
he
shoot.
was
He can
super
block shot.
skinny
Yeah.
where he came. He wasn't strong.
Dude, you know, even up to now, they're still fading Durant.
Yeah, obviously.
Durant's
Because
still
he
getting
needs to
fed.
put on some weight.
They have to feed him every week.
So the
like,
Sixers, they eliminated the Heat, and one thing I've noticed so far is that the playoffs the intensity is really high.
this playoff is gonna be
The
like
intensity is so high. Like, I've seen a lot of altercations in every game. Okay, maybe the Spurs and Warriors, and I feel like the reason why it's not really that heated is because everybody feels like the Warriors are gonna win anyway.
Anyways,
and the Spurs know they're gonna win anyways.
They know.
Because
At least they don't
they're
want to get swept.
underhanded.
So there's like one game is okay.
And also the relationship between the coaches too, like between Pop and Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
So they have this really cordial relationship that it's more about a mentor and mentee kind of relationship. So they're not going to let their players go
hard
line
on each other like that. Yeah.
That they just want to keep whatever.
Just
it
play
is
basketball.
going, like,
Just
keep
play.
it. And both organizations are really classy, especially the Spurs. They are really classy organizations, so they don't want to get into altercations and whatnot. And then the Wizards and Toronto.
I think it's gonna be 7 game.
Yeah.
The last same thing as Milwaukee and Celtic too. It's gonna be same thing as Cleveland and
Cleveland, I think
it's gonna be like 6 or 7.
The thing is, if Cleveland wins,
If we take game 5,
it's 6 games.
Yeah, it's gonna be 6 games.
That's
so they're
it.
gonna like
If Cleveland wins game 5, it's 6 games. If they lose game 5, then it's 7 games.
I mean, I think it's gonna be 7. You know why? Even though Cleveland wins game 5, right? Pacers is gonna win game 6 at home.
I don't think so, because
Cleveland need to play extra hard to win game 6. It's gonna be like, do you know what?
Game, anyway.
Yeah, you know what Pacers do? They let Cleveland run out the first and second quarter.
Yeah.
And they came alive in third quarter. That is the fucking problem.
Yeah.
The past 3 games, like, that is the problem. From 17, 18, and 19 point lead, they're coming back,
Usually,
man.
I see it before going to sleep.
They're coming back.
I just see like the notification on Bleacher Report, like 17-point game.
They're
I go
coming
to
back.
sleep and I wake up and it's like Pacers win. Well, what?
Yeah, they kept coming back from me because they always win
It's actually
the
been
third
that
quarter.
way the whole season.
Yeah, the third quarter Pacers comes alive. So Cleveland really need to play third quarter. If Cleveland win the third quarter, yes. But man, aside of that,
Who else? Utah.
OKC is going on. There's nothing, no remedy.
Yeah,
Straight
I
one,
think so.
they're going out.
I think so.
The game to tie it, they blow it. So nothing's gonna happen. And this guy is really playing. Marco Rubio is playing basketball right now.
Ricky Rubio.
Ricky Rubio, yeah.
Black Jesus. He's white Jesus.
He's actually playing basketball right now. Ricky
Yeah.
Rubio is playing basketball right now.
The thing is, I think he's been playing the same way he's been playing all season long.
But this
It's just
playoff,
that Donovan Mitchell has been in the news more than
him, yeah.
Like-
but like from the beginning of the season, he played like he averaged how many points? Like not like really. Some game he performed
Rubio has
well.
never been a high
high scoring
guy.
point guard. Yeah, I know,
He's
but
more of a passer and rebounder.
But
All his
from the
life.
beginning of the season, after he got traded, he was like, he didn't even, sometimes he scored like 8, sometimes like assists like
That has always been his
6,
game.
you know.
That has always been his game. That's why the last game, which he got, this
Triple-double.
last game.
No,
I think the
game
other
before
game-
this last game, he got triple double.
Yeah, which is where Westbrook said he was going to shut him down.
Shut it down.
And
Yeah,
now
he
this
couldn't do
game,
anything.
this game, he didn't shoot particularly. The last game 4, he didn't shoot particularly well. Which to me, I just feel like that's
That is
normal
normal for
rookie
him,
Rubio.
yeah. Just like
he does
like
extra stuff.
Rondo can score 6 points and 70 assists.
That's Rondo's kind of statistics. For you.
70 assists.
And yeah, exactly, 17, 19 assists, and he rebounds the ball.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it goes back to what I think, who was it, CJ McCollum, who actually posted like in 2011 that when Rondo starts to hit 3-point shots, no, you can never win the game.
Yes.
And in game 4 or game 3, he hit like a open 3-point shot. And they lost the game to the Pelicans. So people went and dig up the tweet that, well, you said it, so it happened. You spoke it into existence. That if Rondo starts to hit open 3-point shots, then you know, like, there's no way you're going to win.
There's no way, yeah.
If Rondo starts to score, then there's no way you're going to win. So that's just what is happening. It's going to be a huge one for Golden State versus Pelicans.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up to. There's basketball I'm going to watch. And I think if Golden State is not careful, if Steph Curry doesn't come back on time, it's going to be tough.
I think Steph is already healthy.
They know they're reserving him. They know what they do, yeah.
Okay, now,
I think
here's what happened. During game 3, Kevin Harlan said that before the game, he spoke with Steve Kerr. And Steve Kerr said Curry is still like 3 weeks out.
Nah.
And now, during game 4, then because the news picked it up and everything, then during game 4, Kerr said like it was a miscommunication. That he didn't say that, or he didn't know what that was.
What, the timeline?
Yeah, so he didn't know the timeline. So that way he's trying to retract that.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Yeah.
They're just keeping him.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Because already he's shooting like free throws. He's shooting like, he's going to shooting drills and everything.
They know what they're doing.
They're
nice
just keeping him in
strategy.
the shell. It's like, okay, he needs to get strong and be okay because he got injured, then he came back, then re-injured himself and all of that. So there's no point risking him. And I think he's going to come into the series game 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Game 1, they want to see
how the game
goes.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be at home.
If they lose at home, they know,
if they lose game
trouble.
1, then they know, okay,
and
game 1,
Steph will coming back. Yeah.
But if they win game 1,
and then they win game 2,
even if they don't win game 2, if they win game 1, they could lose game 2. Then game 3, they pull him out.
But you don't know what is going to happen in Pelicans' house, man.
With Steph, okay, this is what happened during the season. They played 4 games. Steph played in 3, and they won the 3. The only game they lost to the Pelicans during the season was the game that Steph didn't play.
Yeah.
So
one thing about Steph, he can just turn the shit up any moment. Like 2 minutes to go is like he will be hot.
Without Steph, we'll see. If they're able to actually play to their strength without Steph, then probably expect to have Steph back in the Western Conference Final.
Yeah.
Which is where they need him.
So what do you think? You think it's gonna be easier for
I don't really
Rocket?
The Rockets are gonna meet the Utah Jazz next round.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
I don't think it's gonna be tough.
I think it's gonna be tough. It's both defensive team. Do you know? Utah are playing defensive too. They play defensive. They play defense, and they have like a long ass shot blocker.
They do have defense, but the thing is, what has been working against OKC is that they're not making shots.
Yeah.
Remember that. Okay, throughout game 1 to game 4, Melo is averaging 1.5 points.
I think Melo doesn't want to play
in fourth quarter.
Like Melo doesn't want to play.
Westbrook is averaging maybe 5 points the whole of fourth quarters of game 1 to 4. So, and if you look at the number of shots that they breaked, okay, now in the second half of game 3, they only made, was it second half or the whole game? They made 3 out of 20 3-pointers. Rockets
3 out of 20?
Yes. Rockets are not going to shoot that.
Wow.
Because if you look at the Rockets 3-point shooters, Ryan Anderson, Gordon, Trevor Ariza, James Harden, CP3, and Green off the bench, making 6. The 6 guys are not going to be cold all game.
Yeah.
At least 2 guys are going to be hot. And if those guys are making shots, it's going to be difficult for you because now who can consistently make 3-point shots in Utah? Maybe, okay, let's say Donovan Mitchell and Joe Ingles. Who else? What if they are not hot? Because, okay, normally Mitchell could go cold from the 3-point line, but he's going to drive to the basket really hard. So he will always get those.
He always get point, yeah.
Sure. From going to the basket. But if he's not making 3-point shots and the other team are making 3-point shots, you're still 1-point deficit. Like all game long. With Joe Ingles, he's going to make his 3-point shot, take it or leave it. So what about the other guys? Favors doesn't shoot 3-pointers. Gobert doesn't shoot 3-pointers.
Yeah, I think the only thing you can win them is when you start shooting from the range. So if you want to go to the basket, you want to shoot, they have the defense and they have the big guy to always stop you. But
Exactly.
just like if you can spread the floor, they can shoot.
That's why I think the Utah series is going to be a sweep. If they meet Utah and if Utah and the Rockets meet, I think it's going to be a sweep.
I don't think so.
Because they won't be able to match their intensity level, like with the 3 points. They won't be able to go out on a shootout with them because the Rockets general manager said that he built that team around the Warriors kind of system.
Okay.
That I want to challenge them. That's why you see like
everybody's a shooter.
The Rockets are the only team that shoots over 50 pointers, 53-point shooters in a game.
Yeah, they shot a lot of
The Warriors
threes.
don't shoot that much.
Yeah, they shot a lot of threes.
Yes, because they feel like, okay, why go for 2 points when you can get 3? And you got really good shooters. Like these are guys who are high-level 3-point shooters that have good high percentage. So Utah doesn't stand a chance in that regard.
Well,
Okay,
I don't think it's going to be
Capella.
sweep. I think it's going to be like probably 4-1 or 4-2.
I think it's going to be a sweep. 4-0.
I don't think so.
But if OKC managed to come back and they hit
No. If OKC comes back, I'm fucking gonna wear Golden State jersey.
well, you said that here.
Yes.
So,
If
we'll see how
OKC
that
win
goes.
the series, I'm wearing Golden State jersey next episode.
I don't actually see them winning.
Hell
the series.
no.
They could
Hell
win.
no.
They could win
They
game
won
5.
one. Yeah, they could win one more
They
game.
could win game 5 and then go back to Utah.
One
for
more
game
game.
6, but
One more game. But taking the series, no, I don't think that. With the way they're playing, no, it's not possible. It's not possible. So that is it for NBA roundup.
Yep.
Then we're going back to our nemesis, youth revolution and presidential candidate. So who do you got? Who's your presidential candidate? I think we've already talked a little bit about guys. Yeah.
There's Gad Bashir. That one is already cancelled
Cancelled, right?
because I already cancelled him from my books in the sense that he dismissed the End SARS campaign.
Are you serious?
Yep. He dismissed that as like it's not a problem, like it's just a fabrication of lies from people. Like it's not a real stuff. So when I was able to look
So what exactly is the real stuff?
I don't know. That's why I already said he's cancelled. Like I don't even want to hear or see anything from that guy. And he's not even like initially he was making noise, but now I think he already just went back into his own shell. Then there's Kingsley Moghalu. Then there's Fela Durotoye. Fela Durotoye is a motivational speaker, and
Come on.
he said he had a vision from God that whatever.
If I have to vote, I'm not voting for him. Just like
same format
Chris
that
or
Chris Okotie came up
Cotier.
with.
Yeah,
So
no,
that one is
that's
already
bullshit.
cancelled.
That's bullshit. Nobody's
Kingsley
voting for him.
Moghalu, he understands the economy, but he appeals more to the elite. He doesn't understand the language of the poor
Of the poor
So-
people, yeah.
So that guy, basically, it's cancelled too, because he doesn't understand the language of those.
Yeah, I don't really
who
like.
will vote.
Yeah, I don't
And also,
I don't
he's-
follow the youth revolution and whatever. I only follow this guy on Sowore.
Yeah.
That's the only guy I really pay so much attention to and what he's doing. You know.
Exactly, because with guys like Moghalu, who's still a little bit solid, he's creating his own platform in the sense of going to seminars and conferences to speak.
Oh,
Big vocabularies and big systems.
how many
and
poor people actually go to the conferences and
Exactly.
seminars?
The people you're going to talk to at these seminars and conferences, they are people who are not impacted by the failure of government. They actually have the money, so they don't care what's happening. They are far from reality. But the person who live on the minimum wage, who can barely eat or feed or send kids to school, are the ones who are more concerned about the change of government. the people on the street who are getting harassed by SARS every day are the ones who are getting, the people in Benue, in Taraba, who are getting killed by
the herdsmen,
are the people who are actually more interested in changing the government. Those are the people that Omoyole Sowore is appealing to.
Yeah.
That's why he's always on the.
He travels everywhere. Like every day.
He's meeting up with student activists.
Yeah, he's going everywhere every day. Yeah.
So that's why I'm actually more interested, and I feel like I echo his sentiment that there needs to be a political disruption.
Yeah.
There needs to be one right now, and the thing is, even if he doesn't win, I feel like there's going to be a ripple effect of what he's doing, in the sense that he encourages more youths to go into politics. And to want to try out.
And the thing is, like, if he doesn't win, because I know his campaign fund is like slow.
Yeah.
Right. Even though he doesn't win, I will advise him to contest in the next 4 years.
Yes.
Keep pressing, man. Yes. Just keep going.
Yes.
Keep going.
You know, he already had the foundation from his years as a unionist, student unionist already. Yeah. So he's building his campaign more.
And I'm so sure he got one of the strongest media platform.
Yes, exactly.
And one thing about investigative journalism that people doesn't actually know is, like, you don't even know who is investigating you. You don't know who is working with him.
Yeah.
So you cannot say, oh, this is the group of people, we have to be careful of this. You don't know who is leaking your information to him. And that is one of the strongest things he could ever imagine. Even though he doesn't win the presidential whatever, he got one of the strongest platform that people really. Investigative journalism platform is not easy, man.
Yeah.
It's not easy, because they have a lot of people working for him.
He's contributed a lot to the country.
Yeah. Exactly. So he could always, like, come back. He has the platform, and he has, like, forget the fund. The money will come later.
It's just part of what he's saying.
Yeah,
that
the money will come later.
That he doesn't. It's not about money. That if it was about money, Buhari had no chance against Jonathan.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
With the money that him and.
But my problem with Nigerians is, like, do we even have this platform where people can actually vote and their vote will be counted? That is my fear.
Oftentimes votes are counted in certain places, but
not everywhere.
Places, like maybe in the north, where there's just that level of nepotism that they have to vote for northerners, or a northern person has to win the votes from there. So those are places whereby your votes may not count, especially in the north. And there are certain places too in Lagos where Tinubu has thugs. So there are certain places where votes do not count. That
is my fear.
And even in the last election, you had a situation whereby Nigerians waited at the polling station to count their votes. So votes are being counted at the polling unit. Now that's the new system where people don't go away after voting.
Yeah, this should be like what Sowore should be like talking about. Like, we want the vote to be count as soon as people finish voting.
That's how it's done. So they count it in front of the people.
And we know who's winning, who wins this.
And I like his approach in the sense that he's like, I don't have the money to buy Ankara for you, to buy recharge card for you, to buy bread for you, to buy branded rice for you. Which is already being done in past elections by APC and PDP. But what I have for you is that a package that it assures you and your kids the future that you've always dreamed of.
Yes.
And that's essentially it, because he does not have that money back to contest against these guys.
No, he doesn't.
But
because I always follow up his campaign funding, GoFundMe or wherever, crowdfunding, and it's moving slow. It's not as fast as I want to be. It's quite slow.
Yeah.
People giving like $18, $10, like everything is like still below $30,000.
Last time he spoke, he said he's trying to raise $2 million.
Yeah, he's
but he already raised maybe 20,000 and whatnot.
Yeah, it's still below 30.
Yeah, exactly. And he said, like, I've been in Nigeria for the past 2 weeks, going around and doing everything.
And I'm sure he spent more than more than.
Like, essentially, I've not spent up to $20,000 because I'm not bribing people. I'm not paying for buses for people to come and hear
people
me speak.
Volunteer.
It's people who are voluntarily paying for places for him to come. And I heard that Ego America, the U.S. America, is hosting him in Ogun State.
That bros
moved back to Nigeria because
he loves politics. Yeah.
So I heard that he's hosting Sowore. So people like that, people are hosting him. They are hosting events for him to come speak. and appeal to the voters. So he's basically not spending so much, except maybe logistics of him and his team. But maybe buying and seducing people with money and other stuff, he's not doing that. So, like he said in one of his speeches, that he's not spent even up to $20,000 for 2 weeks. How many politicians can say that?
No. But I think if you, I don't know how Nigerian system works. I think government always assign some money to
Political parties. But he does not have a political platform yet because he's trying to form a coalition with other parties. Though SDP offered him their platform, SDP, which was the former party of Kashima Abiola. But that same party is being headed, I think, by Balarabe Musa. When he went to the north, he was offered to be their presidential candidate. But don't forget that Olufala is also from SDP. And Olufala has been corrupted by PDP.
Okay.
So he does not want a platform that has been soiled that will be used to attack his candidacy. So he's trying to form a coalition with other parties. And I think he already has a good ground as a former unionist. And most student activists can relate with him, especially for the achievements he's made during his time as a student unionist under the military regime. And also there is video out there of him being behind
Abiola. I saw the video last year.
And he was 21 years old.
Yeah, he was really young that time. Yeah.
So this is someone who has always been interested in leadership and good governance, even as a 21 years old. So how many 21-year-olds in Nigeria will be behind the presidential candidate?
They will be busy looking for money to survive.
Even if they are actually behind the presidential candidate, it's about how much they get from it. I need to share it with my ward and with my local government.
Yeah.
So that's why you cannot attack his credibility when it comes to that, like his genuine interest to help the nation.
Yeah, that is why I always followed him. I was like, I have to know what this guy is all about. I watched almost all his live video where he talked on the.
He was in Akure yesterday.
Yeah. I saw that, and there was a lot of crowd in Akure.
I haven't actually watched the video.
It's like home, man. He went back to the home state. Yeah.
We'll see how much. And the good thing is that he's been going across the nooks and crannies. He's been to the north.
Yeah,
to the
south,
southeast, southwest.
Yeah.
And he's going around. But other guys are keeping quiet.
I think his message is so clear. Yes. So loud and clear. Like when he gets interviewed by the radio station, he's like, his message is straight and forward.
And
it's what I want.
It's quite relatable, except you belong to
the elite cankos.
Yeah. If you're a person who's going through the hardship that a lot of majority are going through, you can easily relate to that message.
His message is so clear. Honest. You can say, and he said he's been living in the state for 19 years and he's still using green card. He didn't even want. What else do you want from a Nigerian? We see our politicians go just to buy property instead, just to have like the passport or the green card.
Look at people like Obanikoro. He has a U.S. passport too.
You see? Just go there, buy property, and just like
who knows, like he's not really ready to do anything for his country other than steal money. Which is what Obanikoro.
Enough of this political bohaha I've had talking. So, and our friend from AC is contesting for House of Rep, Adeoye.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Adeoye, man. Oh boy, I see you. And, well, anyway, so let's move on to Jeko album, man. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, it's Jeko album. Let's talk about Jeko album, man. Hey, it's gonna be a vibe. Come on. Oh, come on, man. What do you think about the album?
I love it.
I super love it.
No, I think for those who said they couldn't relate to For Your Eyes Only.
Oh, fuck
well,
off.
at least this is something you can relate to now. And one major takeaway for me from this album is that Cole and Kendrick have been able to prove one thing, that it's easy for them to do trap if they want to. Because if you look at ATM, KOD,
Yes.
I think that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like you don't have to take all those. You don't like, dude. You know one thing about creativity is you don't have to try to be creative. If you're born creative, you don't have to like trying to, because like yeah, since the sonic of like traps a little bit in some tracks.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I think he's trying to make a point. Like,
Yeah,
we
I
might be
think so.
OG, but we still got it.
People wanted something that they could bump to in the club
Yeah.
from Cole.
No,
And
Cole
Cole
started.
is not that guy
No, no,
who
no.
wants you to bump to his track.
Cole started with, I don't know if you follow his history, right? I couldn't remember the albums, right? When he said he was like trying to make a radio hit song,
Yeah.
right? He started with like trying to make so much of
Yeah, like
radio hits.
he talked about that a lot in
Yeah.
I Can't Believe I Let Nas Down.
Yes. So when trying to make radio hit, that was like, then he had to like, when he signed with Rock Nation and shit like that.
Yeah.
So he was trying to like, he had a lot of radio hit, but
Yeah, he
then he
did.
stepped back.
Yeah, that
It's
was
like,
in
no.
Forest Hill Drive.
Yeah. It was like, no, really have to like.
You know, people said they couldn't relate, and the thing is, with like I'm talking about For Your Eyes Only, right? I related with that album
For
a
your
lot
eyes,
because
for your eyes only.
for
no.
Neighbors, right?
Whoever says they cannot
Neighbors
relate
was
to
more
that
about his own personal experience.
personal experience,
And folding clothes.
and everything was actually captured.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen video of that. Like I've seen it during his stage performance where he was showing videos.
And the point is, that is not only his own experience. That is almost 80% of Black Americans' experience. How
And then
can
when
you
you go to
relate to that?
then when you go to folding clothes, it's just that him being transitioning into being a father, and also being a loving father,
Yeah.
and a husband too. So that's what he's trying to do there. And then For Your Eyes Only, the track itself, he was trying to talk about his friend and the struggles of the life he went through and whatnot. So at each point of that album, you could actually, it's very relatable.
Very, very
But
relatable.
I guess people just wanted something they could bump to.
Yeah.
That's why you have guys like Lonzo Ball saying like nobody listens
Fuck
to Nas.
Lonzo Ball. Who listened to Lonzo Ball?
So now Kuzma actually challenged him that yo,
So yeah, you should release an album and drop the same day as Nas, right?
and let's see who
Yeah.
sells the most.
So, don't be surprised. Lonzo Ball is gonna sell the most. Trust me. He's an NBA player, right?
Yeah, and he appeals to teenagers.
Teenagers are stupid these
And
days.
teenagers have a lot of Spotify and
Yeah.
SoundCloud
So
accounts.
he's probably
And
gonna.
what
win.
actually matters now is online streaming. That's
Yeah.
data that
Yes,
matters.
exactly. Not
It's not about
not physical copies
that
anymore.
much.
And most of the even companies are trying to
So-
shut down physical sales.
So that's why that could actually happen. too, because
He's definitely going to win that for sure.
Yeah,
that is
so-
for sure, man.
That's why it's like
That's
that.
for sure.
But the only track I feel like I don't really like is the Kevin's Heart song.
But you have to
And
see the video though.
I saw the video and I wasn't impressed neither.
Why? Because you don't like Kevin Hart.
I just don't know. Maybe because I don't like Kevin Hart or
I think it's
whatnot,
because you
but
don't like Kevin Hart.
I watched it because immediately he dropped it and I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it. I watched
immediately
it too, yeah.
Watched it and I was like,
I think the
oh,
video.
cool,
I think
what
the,
are you doing?
I think the video was okay. Like the concept of the video is like when you're trying to say you don't. I think the entire concept behind the whole song and the video is like you don't mix up. Like as a man, right? You have to keep the real one. If it means keeping real with you, you have to keep the real one around. And you know the history of Kevin Hart and shit
That's
like
exactly
that. So.
why I felt like he doesn't need to associate his brand with Kevin.
He's
Kevin's
not.
fucked up.
Yeah, I know, but he's not actually only Kevin. A lot of people does that.
He doesn't
though.
even need to like.
Not
get
only Kevin Hart
like,
though.
involved.
You know, it's not only Kevin Hart.
I just watched it and I was like, oh fuck this shit.
You know, I think it's because it's not like
Because
Kevin
I've
Hart.
watched ATM like a couple more times. Like I love it that he dropped the video like 2 days after the
After
song
the shot,
dropped, right?
yeah.
So
I love the
everyone
ATM
was
video
like-
though.
I love it.
Yeah, because like the concept and everything is like just so. And one thing I say about when I listen to music, one thing I say, if you drop a song and drop the video, I have to compare two things: the lyrics of the music and the concept of the video. Right? And I know there's this thing like most of the artists do these days. They try to deviate from the lyrics of the song and paint a different picture from the video.
Yeah, yeah,
It's more of like the video is going to be an abstract,
yeah,
which is like creatively is acceptable,
yeah. Sure.
right? So I have to come, but don't shoot me. Don't sing a song about this thing, this, and then the video you out there popping champagne and all.
It
fun
doesn't
life.
actually
Doesn't like
penetrate the story.
exactly.
It doesn't.
Yeah, you can paint an abstract picture of the video. It's still acceptable if the lyrics is not even match, but the video is telling another story,
Yep.
and this lyrics is telling another story. I will take that. It's either the both are telling two different, the audio, I mean the lyrics and the video telling the same stories, or you go completely abstract
Yeah.
on the
I get
video,
it.
right? But the video is still telling story.
Story, yeah.
It's still story, but maybe might not be the same story with the lyrics.
I actually like the video.
I love the video.
Yeah, I think it
I love
was
the video.
the production and the direction of.
Yeah, and I love the I love the 1985 too.
Yeah,
I
1985 is
love-
good.
I was
It's good.
listening to 1985 like 4 times yesterday.
I think I listened to the whole album every day.
Yeah, I mean like the only 1985 4 times yesterday. I know why I kept listening to it, because the lyrics were so in line that at the end of it, it's like you get so busy listening and like digging it and feeling it, and at the end of it, you just bust out laughing. You know why I laugh at the end? Like when you say, in 5 years time, we're gonna be on love and hip hop.
Yeah.
That is so real, you know, like, because now you pump, you think the entire life is ending, but
So
you
at the
don't.
point you're gonna retire.
You're still gonna be looking for the fame.
Yeah.
Because like what he's doing it might last for 3 years, but what happens in 5 years time?
Exactly.
You're gonna be on love of hip hop, trying to be famous again, trying to be pumping again.
Yeah.
I was like, at the end of it, I started laughing so hard. Like this dude is dropping knowledge, real time knowledge, man. Real time knowledge.
Yeah, I think I like ATM more, and KOD actually streamed. Broke the streaming
it's
record.
breaking
man.
record.
And I don't know
And
why it's the one breaking the streaming record.
the first week sales is almost 400,000, man. This album is going gold
Oh,
in
yeah.
2 weeks.
I heard from Floyd that
It's 390 copies.
Q Edward is actually alter ego of J. Cole. So basically, man wants to go double platinum with no future again. Yeah, if Q Edward is actually J. Cole himself, then that's basically he featured himself.
He
and he's
featured
going-
himself. Yeah.
he's going double platinum again.
Yeah, there was an article about the whole thing that J. Cole featured himself with another name.
Yeah, which is Q Edwards.
Yeah, actually, J. Cole was the one singing. Just
Yeah.
like when Eminem released Stan. Yeah, you know, he has an
Yeah.
alter ego, which is like writing letters.
Yeah,
to
so
him. It's
basically,
like, so it's like,
I think that was why he was saying like, oh, people complaining about him not featuring "Get Off My Dick" and
J. Cole
whatnot.
is not gonna, dude. I don't. Artists that I think they don't really.
I also
feature,
heard that
right?
he did the whole album in 2 weeks. I don't know how true that is. Like,
Trust me, J. Cole can do the whole album in 1 week. Who give a shit?
I
He has,
think it's
like,
possible anyway
No,
because the track list are maybe 10 or
Yeah, 12.
okay.
He got the team around him. He got the pianist. He got like instrumentalists. He got everybody around, right? And it's like, I need this beat. This beat is done. Like, dude, if you want to be,
Cole
dude,
is great.
come on, man.
Cole is great.
Kendrick Lamar released the Black Panther album. I mean,
Yeah.
aside from them trying to lock in, try to like find different sonics and different African cultural music and wherever, how many weeks does it really take them to write the entire song and record it? So,
So yeah, man, I think I like ATM and KOD most, and
there are two people that
Don't be
can never be
surprised.
wrong.
that they're gonna be bumping them in the clubs over the weekend.
Yeah.
ATM is gonna be bumping
This
like
bump
real
is
bad.
like I kept bumping.
I
Dude,
just
come
wanna
on,
see
man.
what
Even
the DJs
even
do with it.
NBA is like.
I want to see what the DJs do with it.
I don't. Did you hear?
Yeah,
You really-
they're basically just gonna wait and download from some mixtapes.
You really trust the DJs here, right?
Nah, they never updated. They don't really update.
They're so
anymore,
far
so-
behind, man. They're so fucking far behind. Like most of the DJ know what they do. I'm gonna tell you the secret. And if you're a DJ in Thailand, you're watching this, I'm busting your bubble right now. In my world, I call you. How do you complex them? Billboard top 100 DJ. If the song is not on Billboard Top 100, they don't play it.
Oh, okay.
Most of the DJ, they only play the hit song. They don't even have time to listen to the entire album and see the concept behind it. And I'm sure 50,
It depends on the audience, though.
90% of DJs
Because
in
if
Thailand.
you look at Thailand, right? If you look at a lot of people who goes to the club, they just want to listen to what's pumping.
Pumping,
Like
yeah.
if you look at Soy, for example, like the kids just want to dance.
They just want to dance. They don't even
Whatever it
listen.
is that
Yeah, they don't even
everybody's
listen. Yeah,
listening to.
they don't even listen. They just want to
So
dance.
if you're playing a song that's maybe
don't-
on
they
the
don't
ground
know,
but
yeah.
good and they don't know,
They don't know.
they won't really vibe to it. So I kind of understand from that perspective
but
too.
there are some people who really, I've seen some Thai girls who really into music. No, not like entirely into music. They like, they can feel the sound. They can feel the rhythm. My ex-girlfriend, sometimes she tests me. What is it? And most of the time when she does that, it's like the DJ that opens the floor.
Yeah.
They play new music.
Yeah.
Right? And she'll test me, what's the name of this song? Sometimes she will record it.
Yeah.
She'll just test
Just
me.
go on Shazam.
Yeah.
Just
She
Shazam
like,
it.
yeah. I was like, what's the name of this song? This song, this song. You know, like, oh, I love this song. You know, most of them just listening, right? And they like the song, they like the vibe. They
But then
wanna
that's
know.
usually maybe 1 out of maybe 50.
One
or
out of
20,
2,000.
25.
So it's 1 out of 2,000.
So that doesn't actually fall into the demographics of those who the DJ wants to perform for. So yeah, that's one of the problems.
So Kanye West is making reappearance again. Yeah, you know, he's producing Nas album, producing Pusha T's album, his own album, and his
Cudi.
collaborated album with Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
And he's like doing this Omar Champet girl. I forgot her name. I don't know her name. Tiana, yeah. She's producing all the good
Good music
artist
artists
albums,
and whatnot.
yeah, and it's producing. But the problem is, like, I think Kanye West is a fucking troll.
I don't know if he's a troll. I just
He
think
is
he's
a troll.
He's an egomaniac. He's
Wait, do you know he called Imbro in the morning and he said only 2 things?
yeah. I saw it on Twitter.
That dude is a
Yeah.
troll. He is a troll, for sure.
It's not about he's a troll. It's just one of the things that people have been saying online that when he's got something to sell, that's when he reappears. That's why it's been said that Kanye West reappearance.
But the point is, do you think Kanye really need to reappear to sell a record?
He
He's
needs
well
the
loved.
attention.
No. I think what
He's
he's doing.
not well loved.
Trust me, man.
Especially
Kanye West
since-
can release an
since
album.
His
You know,
last breakdown
Wait,
with
let
Jay-Z.
me tell you who the list of people who can release album today, and people doesn't even know about it, and they'll still copy it. You know who? Kanye West, Beyonce, Rihanna, Jay-Z, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar.
If Kanye drops an album without this whole
He will
attention,
sell.
he won't.
He
sell.
will move 200 first week. I can
because
guarantee you that.
People already haven't forgotten how this guy canceled shows, and how
Because
he was acting like an egomaniac.
It's more of like mental issues and mental issues.
People
that-
haven't forgotten his
Trust me.
issue with Jay-Z and whatnot, and how he
But
egomaniacs this guy.
okay,
He's a narcissist.
the last interview Jesse did, it was like, yo, Kanye is my brother. We might have an argument. It's like, so people just need that validation from Jay.
He's a creative guy. No,
He
you can't
is.
take that away from him. But I don't think he's a good person.
He might not be a good person.
I don't think he's a
but
good
a lot
person.
of people still want to listen to him.
Because
if
people
Kanye
think
drop,
like he's
drop an album,
he's
right? And he doesn't even promote the album, he's still gonna sell.
No, the thing is, I feel like I see people sharing his tweets and everything. I just
That
feel
tweet
like
is bullshit.
It's just people actually feeding into what
He wants.
he actually wants, because a lot of things that has happened the past 1 year that Kanye hasn't said anything about. But now he's got new Yeezys he wants to sell. He's got new albums coming up in 2 months he wants to sell. Then he suddenly reemerges out of nowhere. And he starts to send into motivational quotes and tweets and everything.
But people,
and you guys are really falling for it.
People are really falling for it. A lot of people are falling
So
for it.
it's so annoying.
A lot of people are falling for that.
I actually wants to block him
No,
so that I don't see any of those tweets.
the thing is,
This
like,
guy is playing with your emotions,
I don't follow him. I don't follow Kanye in any platform.
Yeah, I don't follow him, but
yeah,
his
yeah. A lot of people retweet,
so it gets to
reposted.
my Twitter.
So yo, the thing is, I actually get like really
This guy
angry
about
he
doesn't
what
care about people out there.
Yeah.
He cares about Kanye. That's it.
exactly. Dude, he made a song. His last album. I love you like Kanye love Kanye. It's like one of the interlude.
So
or
why
something
would you
now.
why would you want to care
Now
about
Kanye
someone
loves
like
himself.
that? Like there's so many people within the community. Look at Common and so many other people who actually cares about other people, who empathizes
But
with
the
people.
point is, Common is still a good music artist, right? Kanye is not even learning from Common.
Exactly. Like Common's got really good PR. Like
he's not learning at all. He's not even listening. Kanye is out of touch.
I just don't give a fuck about that nigga, man. That's
the
my
point-
opinion.
the point
I don't
is,
give
like,
a fuck about him. Even if he drops an album, I'm not listening to it.
I was thinking 2 days ago, yesterday, that okay, Nas has different persona,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Nas is more of pro-black, and Kanye is more of like anti-black,
Yeah.
right? And Nas' album now is being produced by Kanye,
Yeah.
right? And it's being promoted by Kanye as well, because Nas never say anything about the album,
Yeah.
right? But Kanye is being the one saying all the things about Nas' album, right? And Nas is not even out. I understand the point, like you cannot come out, or you just want to focus your energy on the work, not the political aspect of an individual, right? So I was thinking, why can't Nas just come out and debunk the entire thing? Like, yo, I was just hoping if I were to be Nas, right, I would just pop out of nowhere and I'll say, no, actually my album is finished, but I'm not releasing this fucking album
The
because
thing
of
is,
Kanye.
if I feel like if the
Kanye
whole thing is not finished,
Kanye whole antics.
I feel like if the whole thing is not finished, Nas won't come out to validate what's being said.
Yeah.
Because I remember like Kid Cudi and Kanye worked on an album, but don't forget that he didn't come out. That
They've been
album
working
was
on an
ready
album for years.
For years.
Yeah, for years.
That he
You know,
didn't
even when he has
got
this
released
this mental
because of
breakdown,
issues.
he on stage he teaches like Kid Cudi. Yeah, so
Exactly. So already
Kanye has a lot of
there's
mental
already that
issues.
history there. That okay, they worked on an album, but then it's been unreleased because of Kanye, not because of Kid. And the same thing with Nas too. He's just being smart about it. Like there's no need to actually put it out there like, oh, we're working on it, and then he gets the validation that he wants because he already said that he promised Obama that he's going to work on the next Nas album.
And the reason,
which is already fulfilling.
You know how this guy is so conflicted. Do you know the reason? Like, this is more of like conspiracy theory. The reason Kanye is rotting so bad for Trump is because of what Obama told him, that he's a jackass.
Oh, okay. I never heard about that though.
Really?
But then the thing is, he has the people he just wants to sell. He just wants to sell to white people. That's it.
Just so stupid, man. I don't.
He just wants to
Yeah,
sell.
I used to be like,
you can sell to everybody.
I used to be
It
first
doesn't
class
matter.
Kanye fan, man. But
You can
right
sell
now,
to
with the way he's going this
everybody. It
time,
doesn't
with the
matter about
antics and
race.
shit, nah.
It's not
I'm
about
falling for
race.
it.
Like you can actually sell your product to everybody, but then I just don't. There's no need for you to pull down a certain section of the public just to support the other. You know.
Nah,
And
Kanye, I
that's why
think
just feel
Kanye is
like-
a troller, man.
No.
He's trolling.
Like I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
I used to be a fan, but
I'm not
with
a
the way
fan.
he's approaching things
Okay, if
this
he's
time,
got nothing
I
to
don't
sell,
get it.
he just doesn't come out. And okay, even with all that's been happening in the world,
He
what
don't-
has
not
Kanye
even
said
coming.
about anything?
The same Kanye that came out a few years ago that George Bush doesn't care about black people,
Yeah.
and now he's the same Kanye rooting for the actual jackass that doesn't even care about black people.
So now, even after the album drops and when it's time to sell tickets, it's going to be around. But then, when the real Kanye comes out, where he starts to cancel shows and he starts to like stop mid-show and all that, he just goes back in his old shell. You don't hear from him about for another year until he comes out with one of those ugly ass Yeezys. Yeah, he's got Yeezys to sell again.
Yeah, and I was like, the flip flop is like, you see the prototype?
I don't want to say it.
Yeah, you need to
I'm
see the
perfectly okay with what I have.
you need
So
to see the prototype, man.
I'm not a fan.
You definitely don't want to see it. If you see the prototype, you want to. There's no way you can unseen it anymore. So
That's
what we
it.
got next? We got Olamide and Final. Final.
Final.
So
Yeah, they dropped Onyoma. I love it.
I haven't listened to it.
Wow, that shit is the real deal. It's a banger.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that shit is dope. Maybe
Wow.
we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
That shit
probably
is-
we'll
it's really
keep that
good,
to next
like-
week. We'll talk about that next week.
It's very similar to the other song that he had last time that blew up. What was it called? I forgot. The song they had that was really popular. And apart from that, they have this ability to be able to collaborate on hits.
Yeah, they can. Both of them can make hit together.
Yeah, they
can
make
make
good
hit
music
together.
together. And I just wonder, why can't Davido and Whiskey
Do
come
the same
together
thing.
and do the same thing?
Oh yeah, and we forgot. Wizkid still doesn't. Oh, he canceled the Coachella appearance.
He was supposed to appear
The second week.
yeah.
I don't think because from shout out to what is his name?
Shola.
Shola. Shola has been on Wizkid's neck, and that nigga doesn't even say anything. So I don't see from Shola because the second week I don't really watch. I don't pay attention to that. The
Like,
first week was
basically
really
nobody goes the second week.
Yeah.
Because even Michael Blackson made a joke about it. Like he went to Coachella and nobody was there.
the second week.
Basically,
Right?
yeah, like I know it was just a joke,
It
but
is a joke.
basically people don't go there often.
Yeah.
Like you got the opportunity to be in the primetime show,
Jesus,
but
you
decide to
got
do
it. Not even like you gotta. You know, the only thing I'm so concerned about is a lot of people, a lot of artists from various countries. They're like their ultimate goal is to be on that stage, Coachella.
Yeah,
stage.
that's what.
And you got
guy
this
too.
chance to put not only Nigeria but Africa
And Afrobeats on the map,
on the map,
and to make Shola proud too.
and then you just
Especially smuggling in that Nigerian flag into Coachella.
and you just do us like that. You just fall out.
That would have
like
been
that.
a proud moment for Shola, man.
Not only Shola, like
Yeah,
to
all the people who were there.
do you know how many people really want to?
Because who just wanted to associate, right?
Yes.
And
Do you
relate,
know
man.
when they hear that beat? You know how many people gonna go back home and start playing Afrobeat?
Yeah, he missed.
Do you know how
he
many
missed
people
the golden
stream?
opportunity.
Jesus, I
He
don't know
missed
how
the
he
golden
does that,
opportunity.
man. And we have this argument on Twitter. Like, I don't know if he was doing it Nigerian way. They're trying to smuggle people.
You know the thing is that
I don't know.
you
I
know,
don't
like a lot of
man.
artists actually have this case whereby they take their band members abroad and then they just abscond.
That is the point.
That's maybe one of the reasons.
That's one of the reasons.
that they run into visa problems. Okay, look at some of the athletes that went to the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, Australian,
Then they
from
started to-
Cameroon, Liberia,
and
Kenya,
those other
wherever.
places. So those are reasons why embassies are more careful.
Yeah,
about giving
and
visas
that is
now.
one of the reasons I said, you know, because Coachella, we always, like the organizer, we always give you the necessary document. The main act will never be denied visa.
Hell no.
Yeah, except you want to, they think you're trying to play some game
No,
with
the
them.
thing is-
And you know, come on, man, you know, Nigeria, people will pay extra money to get on that list. You know that?
Yeah, sure.
You know that?
Sure.
No, people
Yeah,
will pay
just to
extra.
use
Yeah,
that
so you
to-
use the
to
opportunity
actually
to
move out.
just like move out.
And the thing is that with Wizkid, right, he plays with his band. Davido plays with DJs. That's the difference. That's
Yeah,
why
but-
Davido always shows up at all his events.
But one of the I think I don't know if I screenshot that to you. I was talking with Shola that right now among all Nigerian artists, the person that have that live stage appearance performances that is close to Fela is Wizkid.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. He is the one. Like
He's the
performs
only
like
person
live
live performance that is a little bit
And
aside
the-
from Fela's songs
Yeah.
and whatever. That
And
is
the person who also
close.
performs live performances, Adekunle Gold.
Yeah.
Those are people who don't perform like DJ, like have DJ play beats. or what.
But the thing is, if you'll be going around with the same crew, right? There's no way they will deny you visa for sure. I think they
I
have
don't
some
think
name.
he has visa problem, but with the band, I think it will always happen. Because even Ayefele has had that, where some member of his band absconded when they got to, was it Canada or US? So these things happen, and they do know, the embassies
Yeah,
do
the
know
embassy
about
know,
these
yeah.
things.
That's what I said.
So
like,
he can't
except
have-
they try to do it
Yeah, he
African
can't
way
have
or
a visa
Nigeria.
problem, but band members.
They
So
will.
yeah, that could be.
But that should be like there should be there should always be a plan B in that case. Okay, the ones that can fly them over. You rehearse with another set.
They're not really coming up with like
Reasonable excuse, right?
exactly. And the thing is, there are a lot of Nigerians in the US too who can play.
Who
these
can
instruments.
play even better? You know.
So it's more about just having proper rehearsals and whatnot. Like there are a lot of churches there where they play all
Exactly
these
where
instruments. So
instrument.
it's just that if they already know your beat and they know what they're supposed to do, then it's not that difficult.
No, they just
I don't know.
making
It's
it.
paperwork, yeah. So it comes to that.
Yeah. A lot of people was disappointed, and
Yeah, and Adetunle Gold posted tweeted yesterday or the day before yesterday that his goal is to be on Coachella stage next year.
Do you know how many
And somebody
people?
said,
Yeah.
you know the world
trust him.
the world is people who just feel like, for me, I think it's too early. It's not like his brand of music is not that which is gonna immediately shoot him to that place next year.
Don't say that. You know
Don't you know how many years it took Sonny Ade to be there?
Do you know why I said don't say
I
that?
don't see him being there next year. We can put the money on it.
He might not be dead.
Even in 3
next
years'
year.
time. I can put my money for the next 3 years.
Do you know this South African DJ?
Maforisa.
No. Wasn't my this is like he played the first week. It's like more of like house music.
They have always been able to have really good DJs that play house, EDM,
Yeah.
and
Now this is more of like house and futuristic, wherever music.
I don't think
He's
his
like-
brand of music sells that.
But the way I don't know if he's a little bit. Do you know Adekunle Gold music can be considered as like almost like half Afrobeat, and I mean house Afrobeat.
I don't know about that.
Okay, there was a place I went to in this Thailand, in Tonglo. That was like 5 years ago. Then when Tinder was still pumping, this girl from US was just like, yeah, we went to one place in Tonglo, and you know what happened? It was house music. They play 4 fella song.
Yeah. Is
For-
it WTF?
No, it
Because
just
WTF they played every day that way.
They play
not even
for-
only fella, some Southeast
4 fella
Igbo
song.
music too.
I was like, and this is like house music. How like Afrobeat. The way they all this, I was like, and I was telling the girl, do you know who like where this artist is from? Who? I was like, no, it's from Nigeria. I was so proud. I was like,
Yeah,
so
that's one of the
super
reasons
proud.
I love going to WTF too, because of music choice. Like I'm not saying like Adekunle Gold is not good, but I just feel like that the audience is not just there for him to want to tap into right away next year. Because he has like good number of followers or audience in the UK, but the same thing is not applicable to the
To
US.
US,
And,
yeah.
if we're even talking about this, it's Wizkid, man. And Wizkid he's gonna sing One Dance, he's gonna sing Come Closer and all those things, and so many hate songs. So
And he released album that even
So
Joe Biden was like,
So even if there are Nigerians who are gonna make it there next year, it's either Davido or Techno.
fuck techno. It's gonna fucking
It's either Davido or Techno that's gonna be there.
You see that Techno is gonna be
It's
there.
not even. Look at how many years it took them to have King Sonny Ade here.
techno.
Have you listened to Jogodo?
Yeah, I've listened to it.
I love that.
I
But
haven't-
I don't know
I
how
haven't.
he fucked it up, because he could have just kept it as simple as the way Professor Lincoln sang
it,
Jogodo.
yeah.
But then he played around with it too much. I didn't like that. And one thing I think they're gonna miss again is that during the creative part of the video making, they are gonna miss giving tribute to Ajekunle.
Yeah.
They are going to be dancing. They are going to be dancing shaku shaku. When they could dance Konto, Swore, Alanta, Galala. So there are 4 different dance types from Ajegunle that you could actually use.
Integrate into that video.
Integrate to just pay homage to that place.
But they're definitely
going to be dancing shaku shaku for sure. And from that point, they're just going to mess it all up. If that happens, because I've already been seeing some part of the video. Because he's shooting it. I've already been seeing snippets of it. And I feel like you're already missing the point. You have this opportunity to like pay homage to this part of where this music comes from. And you are failing at it.
It has to do with creativity. Like a lot of people, the directors and the people who are actually they're not taking it just like
he's actually shooting the video at the same location where Brahim shot his music video. Because they know that location was so good in the video, right? He's shooting his video right there.
Do you know there are a lot of places in Nigeria that is even better than that location they use in Brano's video?
So I don't know. This is an opportunity to pay homage to Ajegunle, but
there are a lot of places, man. There are a lot of places in Nigeria that you can shoot a better video. At least if you don't even pay homage in that aspect, like integrate most of Ajegunle dance style or lifestyle into the music, just fucking go to a location where AJ people can see, oh, this is this place. Yo, this is this place. That's all you need.
I love this song.
Yeah, I've listened to the song. I think I've listened to it twice. So
yeah.
With that being said, we're rounding up. We're going. So thank you guys for listening. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our Google Play, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and everywhere. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, and everywhere. We're having a lot of things coming up soon. I think next month is going to be really busy for us. We have another segment that is going to be a lot of us. We're going to be seeing a lot of us talking. We're still going to keep the topic. Going to keep the content intact. We're going to talk a lot about pop culture and things.
Yeah.
Probably you're gonna hear less about politics.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be the only place you can hear. You're gonna hear less about politics. So we're not going to talk about politics.
Basketball, race,
race and
whatnot.
A little bit about racism, if let's not consider as politics though. So, stay tuned with us, follow us, and keep listening. Thank you guys. Peace out, guys.